Got it. Okay. Good
Oh,
morning, everyone, and welcome to the Spirited Healing Academy. I am Reverend Michelle Scrimshaw Brown, and it's truly my pleasure to welcome you all here today. Here at the Assembly, we are a gathering of people who will teach each other to find the miracle of joyful living from life circumstance to accomplish that which seems impossible. And our intention with these gatherings is to stimulate thought, create connection, and expand consciousness. Today, we are going to continue our discussion of the 12 aspects of gratitude, and I think we'll probably wind up concluding it this week. But before we do that, I want to go ahead and share our land acknowledgement with you. So if you would just take a moment with me. As the journey towards reconciliation in Canada continues, and we strive to fulfill the Truth and Reconciliation Commission's calls to action, it is important that we continue to build relationships and engage in ongoing education. Reconciliation and allyship is a continuous process and one that we all need to engage in fully. With this in mind, we must take every appropriate opportunity to acknowledge the traditional territory on which we reside. Acknowledging the traditional territory is one way that we can express our respect, gratitude, and appreciation for the Indigenous people who have inhabited and continue to live on the land that we have taken from them. It is recognition of their continued presence, both in the past and the present. Recognizing this helps to honor the trauma being separated from their land has created within their people, and attempts to foster a safe environment where Indigenous people feel welcome to share their stories with us who are eager to listen. The Spirited Healing Academy is proud to acknowledge that the lands and the people of the Mississaugas of Scugog Island First Nation, which is covered under the Williams Treaties. We are situated on the traditional territory of the Mississaugas, a branch of the Greater Anishinaabeg Nation, which includes Algonquin, Ojibwe, Odawa, and Potawatomi. And now, as we do each week, we are going to go over to our opening intention. I've muted you all, so please do feel free to read along out loud so that we can all lift the vibration of the world around us. May I come to understand that blessings are everywhere, that my attitude will affect outcomes, that challenges are often gifts in disguise. May I come to trust that most things can get better with time, that my instincts and gut feelings have value, that a positive attitude makes things go smoother. May I come to see that I have many skills and talents I can use, that I am a positive influence on many people, that there are those around me who wish me well. May I come to value that today is a blessing to be enjoyed, that each person is unique and important, and that each moment of my life has meaning. I am going to go ahead now and we will begin reviewing the aspects of the law of gratitude that we have already talked about. Please do feel free to unmute yourselves if there's anything that you want to say as we're going quickly through the list of what we've already talked about. Okay. Okay. The more you are in a state of gratitude, the more you will attract things to be grateful for. Being happy won't always make you grateful, but being grateful will always make you happy. Gratitude fosters true forgiveness, which is when you can sincerely say thank you for the experience. You never need more than you have in any given moment. Gratitude is all-inclusive. What you have to be grateful for in the present changes. A grateful mind never takes things for granted. Now, before I go to the next slide, I just want to quickly check to see there's nothing that anybody wants to say about any of these statements. I know we discussed them at length in the last couple of weeks. All right, I'm going to I'm going to trust the silence. I thought I heard somebody unmute.
I did, but I was just going to say no, nothing to
Oh, okay.
contribute.
Okay. As you express your gratitude, you must not forget that the highest appreciation is to not simply utter words, but to live by them daily. So I think this is the last one we talked about, right? I think so. Okay. And so here is number 9. Gratitude includes giving back. Oh, now that's interesting. What do you think? Anybody?
I'm just mulling it over. Yeah, I think it's probably an accurate statement because that's embodying your whole way of life, not just saying, I'm so grateful for this sunny day, or,
Right.
you know, this hot coffee I finally have.
Yeah, you should
Maybe
give
what-
me the hot coffee.
Maybe when you're grateful, you are more open to sharing.
Yes.
Well, that's interesting. So I wasn't thinking of sharing in terms of giving back, but that's interesting. Yeah.
I think it's like the Tim Horton theory. You buy the coffee for the person behind her.
Paying it
And
Oh,
a
to
lot
pay
of
it forward.
people, yes, a lot of people, when they've been given so many blessings, are always giving back to people, even giving $5 to someone standing on the street corner. Whether you know what they're going to use that $5 for or not.
Right. It's none of your business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking of gratitude in terms of like charitable work. Like, sorry, not gratitude. I was thinking of giving back in terms of charitable work, like donations of time, of resources, of platforms, of money.
Well, I guess it can be however you can, right?
Yeah.
Not everyone is able to do the same sorts of things. So
Yeah.
however it moves you, right? It's a spirit of giving and sharing, maybe. When you're full of gratitude, you're just, spirit moves you.
For sure. Yeah.
Sure.
What I'm starting to like about number 9 here is that this idea of giving back, it's like completing the circle, right? So we receive things that we are grateful for. And so then to fully experience gratitude, we give things that others are grateful for. And then we receive things to be grateful for. And we give things that others are grateful for. And we receive and we give and we receive.
You know, it's what you put out there is coming back to you.
That snake eating its tail, you know, it's the fullness of the experience.
Mhm.
I like the last words, but that snake bit, go away.
I'm not asking you to take care of my snake, Ma. It's okay.
Okay.
This looks like the shortest line in all the laws of gratitude, and yet it's the most expansive of all of
Yeah.
them.
It's interesting, isn't it?
Because we came up with several different ideas that are all of value.
And perhaps we were only able to come up with several different ideas because we have discussed at length so many other of the aspects.
Possibly.
It's pretty cool. Okay, shall we look at number 10?
Yep.
All right. The highest tribute to the people and circumstances you've lost is not grief, but gratitude.
Mm.
Now that's
Wow.
interesting.
Yes.
That's like that quote, don't cry because it's over, be grateful that it happened.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
What I like about this statement is that it's not encouraging. It's not speaking, how do I want to say this? What I like about the statement is that it's not discouraging of experiencing grief,
Not
Right.
at all.
right? Like we are allowed to feel the fullness of the human emotions while giving us a piece of awareness that perhaps we don't need to moan and wail and throw ourselves into a coffin when somebody dies to show how much we loved them. Maybe what we need to do is be in a state of gratitude for how much of our life we got to share with that person.
Mhm. Yeah,
Yes.
for sure.
Like I feel like it leaves space for both the grief and the joy. Do you know what I mean?
Because grief and, losing someone you love, the grief, I think it's a thing where you go between the grief, and once the rawness of the grief is lessened a little over the time period, or whatever time period it is for you in that experience because of the loss of that particular person, then eventually you can reach a state where you do start looking back and thinking, oh, this was fun. I'm glad I had this experience with this loved one. This person was a key person in my life through this period. And you still might have moments when you do grieve the loss of them, but then I find, personally speaking, from the loss of my brother in his 20s, that over time, I'm just grateful that he was a key person in my childhood and that I did have the time with him that I had. And I tend to have gratitude more that he was in my life, and less often do I, get grief stricken. Like, I feel the grief sometimes from time to time for a minute or two, but the depth of the grief has lessened. And then I can look back and go, well, I'm glad I had him in my life because of X, Y, Z. The things I learned from him, the fun the silly games we made up as children, etc., and things like that.
Yeah.
This number 10 kind of reminds me of even looking back, for example, someone that
Mike, I don't think we can hear you.
Can you hear me now? I'm gonna take off.
There we
this
go.
mic.
That's better. That's
That
Now we
better?
got you.
I
Okay.
think my mic was tucked into my shirt. Sorry.
Just muffled.
Ah,
So you can hear me now?
We
Yes.
can hear you now.
Okay. This quote, number 10, reminds me of, like, even if you had a medium or somebody that, maybe is connecting to a loved one or someone that's passed on, quite often they're coming back to let you know that they're fine, everything's fine, and not to like stay in grief and sadness. But I think this highest tribute to them would be to like be really grateful for the times that we did have together, and remember the loving moments and the joyful moments. But they don't want to see us wallowing here in grief. They'd rather see us be just grateful for the moments we had together.
Yeah.
Speaking as a medium, I can confirm those details.
Yeah, I figured you'd relate.
Yeah, it's like every loved one is saying everything's fine. I'm great. I love you. I'm so proud of you. You're amazing. Some of them are saying I'm sorry, but mostly they're like everything's fine. Go be happy.
Mhm.
I'm always with you. Yeah.
Terrific.
Anybody else have anything you want to say about number 10, or shall we keep humming along here to 11?
I think we can.
All righty. Here we go. To be truly grateful, you must be truly present.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah, this is a tricky one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think, what I talked about last time was, this grateful feeling has a vibration of, being grateful that it's different than it was in the past, or something's changed. So you kind of are like remembering the past, but everything happens in the present. I guess there is no, all there is now. But yeah, it is a tricky one, this one.
To be truly grateful, you must be truly present.
Almost
Taking it, sorry,
it's
go ahead,
almost-
Mike.
It's almost like, you know what? I feel like I'm in a better place now than I was, back then. And so right now I'm grateful. But maybe at that moment, like 20 years ago, I wasn't as grateful for that person or for whatever situation. But I think when you're in the now, that's where that feeling of gratitude is.
I'm just thinking about,
Hang on, Mom. Nancy wants to go. She paused herself first, and then you can be after Nancy.
all right, yep.
I was just going to say, I was going to make it simple. Like these days, I get really excited about my 1 cup of tea a day that Phil makes me. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh God, a cup of tea,
Yeah.
like, because I'm just drinking water all the time, and I get 1 cup of tea, and it's like so exciting for me. And it's a really simple thing, but I'm just thinking, to be truly grateful, you must be truly present. I wonder if gratitude is a thing that you come in and out of, because when I first get my cup of tea and take the first couple of sips, I'm all grateful and present. And then, of course, I'm reading or looking at my iPad or talking to Phil or something, and then I get distracted from that. So is gratitude, I think I said this before, an awareness or a way of being, like, is it to be truly grateful, you must be truly present? But does that mean to be truly present, you're aware every minute, every moment? I'm grateful. So should I be grateful through every sip of tea,
Well,
or
I
is
think
it?
we need to recall that the intention of being a spiritual being in a human experience is to experience all that the human can experience. So it will not occupy any one state of being forever. The
Yes.
human will experience such a range and diverse, broad spectrum of things. And our job is to be present for all of the things we are experiencing. To be present in that conversation with Phil, to be present in what you're watching on your iPad, to be present in what you are reading, and to be present with the understanding that you feel comfort. You're holding a cup of tea and you're reading a favorite book.
Hmm.
Is
Yeah.
that helpful?
Yeah, it is. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Susan, what were you going to say?
Well, I've just been thinking about times in this past year where I'm not certain I was really present. I was just on the surface, and I have overwhelming gratitude for my circumstance, for the place I'm living, for the people that surround me, for the love I receive every single day. But a lot of the time in this past year, I felt like I was just drifting along on the surface. So am I really present when I'm just drifting?
Well, I would answer that question with a question. When you're just drifting, when you have been just drifting along on the surface, have you been wishing for something else? Or have you just allowed you to
No.
be where you were?
I would say I've been more focused on what do I have to do and doing things one step at a time.
Then I
Today,
would say
I'm going
that's
to work
present.
with Pat. And so my whole focus then is, what am I going to eat? What do I have to take to work with me?
I think that's very present.
Mhm.
All right, I think you're right.
Especially, I think the key to determining whether or not you are in a state of presence is, are you accepting of what is, or are you trying to change it? Right? Like when I wind up really hurt and upset about, I don't know, a friendship that ended, I'm not present and I'm trying really hard to change. What did I do wrong? How can I fix that relationship? Instead of being here in the, okay, my life is actually peaceful and quiet, and I'm happy, and my children are happy, and we're all safe, and we have all of our needs met. oh, I'm actually really grateful. Instead of being caught up in the what happened? How come? And why did that happen as a result of that happening? Or conversely, when I'm worrying about what's going to happen next and who's going to take care of that, and I don't know what's going to happen on Wednesday when whatever happens. How do I prepare for? I'm not present. I'm way out there in the future.
Yeah.
Oh, I shouldn't just be so floating. I got to do something. I got to get my feet on the ground. I can't believe I'm so stuck here. Why am I so stuck here? Those things are not present, right?
Yes. Okay.
Yay.
I'm certainly grateful. Thank you.
You've always been grateful, Ma.
It's true. I am.
All right. Well, let's look at number 12. Oh, I'm not sure I should read this one. Letting go of control multiplies the potential for gratitude. I bet you love this one, eh, Nancy?
You know me, because I'm just laughing, going, oh my God, letting go of control. And that certainly the universe has been bringing that up a lot lately for me. And I can see logically that the need that I have for control, I can see now how it limits me. So letting go of control is the opposite of that, multiplying the potential, for gratitude. So yeah.
Right. I know, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Sometimes I realize that when I'm not trying to control things, it's a bit of a relief that I don't have to be in charge of that anymore.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
That's a good one, Susan. That's
So
a
I
really
guess
good one.
that's multiplying because, I get hot on the heels of having a thought that I don't have to control that or worry about that or deal with that is gratitude. I'm so thankful. Like it's like one thought, I guess. I don't know.
I think that this must be true because we keep agreeing on all of these conversations we've had about the aspects of gratitude. We keep agreeing that we have to be present. And so if we're present, then obviously we're not controlling because we know that what's happening in the moment is what needs to happen in the moment.
Yeah.
So this number 12 is bringing up another question for me. Is control the nemesis of gratitude?
Well,
That's a good question.
I don't know the answer, but I think it's an interesting exploration.
It is the illusion of, I always like to say the illusion of control, because it's such an illusion. And I think what you're kind of like tying together, and even what you were talking about before, Michelle, was you have to basically live your human experience with all the good, the bad, and the ugly. It's this duality we're living in.
Yeah.
But then with this evolved level of consciousness, you can be in the present moment and just be grateful that you've been through everything you've been through, and you're just grateful for who you are right now. And like you said, you have everything you need in this present moment, and to have this vibration of gratitude is going to attract more things to be grateful for.
And maybe not grateful that we went through it, but certainly grateful that we survived it.
Yes.
Right. I'm really grateful that I have survived so much. I am so glad that I am still here. And now let me just, as a little asterisk point here, I could not have said that when I was in the deep of my depression. I was not glad that I was still here. I was trying to be.
Wow.
The the things like depression and all this suffering and the trauma is actually the antidote. Like it basically is what wakes us up to
Yeah.
this higher level
Yeah.
of consciousness. And we won't wake up if we don't go through that. And
Yeah.
although at the time it's not very comfortable, but that's part
They
of
actually
the.
did some neuroscience scientific studies into depression, and I saw a TED talk about this, and what the doctor who was giving the TED talk said was depression and spiritual awakening are two sides of the same door.
Oh,
Right? You have to go through one to get to the other. You go through depression to become aware. Like science is actually backing this up. It's not just something Mike and I like to spout.
Yeah, no, it makes so much sense. And you look back on the depression or the traumatic experiences, it is part of the wake up call.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm grateful for all the stuff I've been through. And yeah, I can see the blessing in the traumas that I've had in the past. I see them in the present moment.
Yeah. This is just coming to mind now. It's not related to our topic, so I'm going to turn this off for a moment. I wanted to remember to share this because I'm pretty sure it's not going to get shared otherwise. Mike is in a published book that came out this week.
Oh, wow. Where and how can we get it?
That's the question I'm hoping he's going to tell us.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, I wrote a chapter in a book called Conscious Transformation. So that's kind of like what we talk about every week, or
Yeah.
what I talk about anyways, but we're all going through this conscious transformation. And I was asked to write a chapter in this entrepreneur book. And then when I started writing my chapter, they said, you know what, you should be writing a chapter for this conscious transformation book. And I'm like, okay, that sounds like a better fit. So yeah, it just got published on Thursday, and you can get it on Amazon. I think if you go on my Facebook page, whether it's my Awaken Life Chiropractic Facebook page or my personal Facebook page, I think it's been shared a couple times, where there's a link where you can get the Conscious Transformation book.
You don't have copies that we can buy from you directly?
I don't have them yet. They said in 2 weeks they're going to give me not give me. I bought a certain number of copies.
Okay.
And I'll probably have them at my office. So if people want to get a copy, or if they want to get a signed copy,
I was going to say you could sign it and get your autograph.
Glad to. Yeah, no, I'm proud to be part of that book. And you know, it was actually, I wasn't sure. Like, writing for me is not like the easiest process, but this actually was an opportunity that made it quite simple. They did a lot of the editing and putting all the details of getting a book out there and published. So you know, you just pay a certain price and it's taken care of. But
Right.
I'm glad that I am taking part of that, because I feel, you know, that we all have a story to share, and everybody that wrote in one of those chapters, they all have a unique story of how they're waking up to this higher level of consciousness. And each person on this call, same thing.
wow.
And I feel we're all unique divine sparks of God, and we all have to do it our own way.
Yeah. Awesome. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations. That's
I knew the group would want to know.
Yeah, that's exciting.
It's very exciting. We're very proud for you, Mike.
Yeah.
Thank you, Michelle, for sharing that too. It's yeah, it's going to help more people, and that's what I feel we're all here to serve and help people in our own unique ways. We all have our own gifts, so yeah, I'm glad to add that writing piece to my resume.
Beautiful. Yeah.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
Talking about the things you never thought you would do.
Getting published.
Exciting.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's exciting. I think Michelle has frozen. There, you froze, Michelle.
I see you're moving.
Yeah, now you're moving.
I'm like, let's take a look at the laws of gratitude, and then I get booted out of the group. What kind of love is that, people? Let's go over and take a look at, I'm going to just show you in the PowerPoint form. It won't be in slideshow form, because I wanted to be able to see the whole list instead of having to see it one at a time. Okay. So what do you guys think? I'm still a little triggered by number 4, although we did come to a new piece with it last time. I don't remember what that piece was. And number 5 still makes me giggle because I feel like that should have a little umbrella drink with it, all inclusive.
Yeah, it's nice to look at them all together. I again was not I wasn't sure how I would agree with all these different aspects of gratitude, but the more we like break them down and look at them, I think the more sense this whole article or this whole 12 aspects makes more sense.
Right.
So yeah, no, it was a great exercise to go through them over a 3-week period.
Yeah, well, I'm
Yeah.
glad.
I'm thinking about that number 5 and thinking that's telling us we have to be grateful for the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't agree on that necessarily.
Right.
I just want to say this is somebody's opinion, right? This Mark and
Right.
Mark
Fair
Chernoff.
enough.
This is
Right.
his 12 aspects of the law of gratitude. So
Right.
personally, I don't agree with all of them, but
Right.
it depends, because when I read it, I interpret it differently than anyone else who reads it, because that's how many different opinions there are on the planet, whatever we're at now, population wise. So I'm learning to get more discerning and go, oh, geez, I don't agree with this. That makes me flawed. And now I'm going, wait a cotton pick a minute, ooh, that's an old term. That's slavery. That's terrible. I shouldn't have said that.
That's
Anyway,
okay. Nothing to apologize for.
Yeah, but 12 aspects of the law of gratitude. I'm learning now to get more discerning with what I allow into my brain, because I realize I've been acting like the whole world has all the answers and I know nothing. And I'm starting to go, wait, I have to look inside of me, because I came in knowing stuff that I've forgotten.
Absolutely.
And the truth is inside of me. So my opinion now from, say, a year ago is, oh, yes, this has been very interesting. I've loved the discussion. It's made me think about some things in gratitude in different ways. I don't necessarily agree with every single thing this person made, because of how I might have interpreted different ones.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And what I would say too is that I would really have appreciated more of a discussion by the author about what was meant, because so many things get lost in the nuance of language, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. But no, I agree. It was a. Go ahead, Annie.
Oh, I was just going to say, having these points presented in this way, though, is great fodder for discussion.
Yes.
It gets you thinking and gets you looking at your own opinions, right? As Nancy said, we all come at it from a unique place and experience, so we all will view it, and having the opportunity for the discussion goes around the full gamut of the group's experience, right?
And this is how we get to expanded consciousness, right? By sharing our perspectives and allowing people as a window of insight into how we think and frame things.
Yeah.
Which I find fascinating, to get the opinion of other people, because then that's how I learn. They'll say something and I'll go, wow, I never looked at it that way. You know what I mean? And then it's like, then you have a new way of looking at something that you learn from someone else, because they have more experience, they have a different life. So they bring in a whole new experience, which I personally find enlightening.
Yeah.
Yes, me too. All right, friends, let's go back over then to our affirmation of hope. If you all could take a moment to mute yourselves, as I forgot to do that before I hit screen share, that would be just a treat. Maybe I can do it anyway, so that we can say our affirmation of hope all together. Hope, fragile, luminous, and buoyant, fill me now. Bring your gifts of optimism, faith, and positivity. Grow strong within me today and every day. Increase my connection with those around me. Balance my moods with a lightness of being, and touch all those I meet with blessings. Hope, fragile, luminous, and buoyant, fill me now. Humble and expand my heart with openness, making me compassionate, relaxed, and kind, aware of the many blessings I have each day, making of me a better, more human person. Hope is a gift that passes through me to others. And so it is. Thanks, everybody.